guys, my name is Claire, also known as Claire Bear here on my channel, and for today's makeup tutorial I'm going to show you how I got this winged galaxy inspired eyeshadow look. I was inspired by my new Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Rex. Look at how gorgeous that is. I thought it paired perfectly with the Urban Decay Electric palette, so I took my MAC 217 in the shade Savage and I started to use that as a transition shade in my crease. I didn't want to bring that too far out or too far down. I just want to focus it right into the crease to make sure all my next colors are going to blend together seamlessly. Then I'm going to take the shade Urban, which is this gorgeous dark purple, and I'm going to put that a little lower into my crease and really try to define it, but I also don't want to go past that pink. So, you know, just blend it together. Keep it on the outer corner and bring it all up into the crease. Then using my MAC 224, I'm just going to blend it out a little bit more, not adding any more color this time. Then taking my Urban Decay Electric palette in the shade Freak, which is this gorgeous bright green, and the brush that came with my electric palette, I'm just going to pop that mostly into the inner third of my eyelid. This part, I'm just going to be adding colors kind of in stripes, not really too focused on blending them together yet. Then I'm going to take Gonzo in the same brush, and I'm just going to pop it right next to that bright green. Again, I'm not worrying too much about blending it. We're going to get to that later. This is just to try to figure out where I want my colors to go. Next, going in with the shade Chaos, this gorgeous deep blue, I'm going to put that right next to Gonzo. Again, just creating a nice stripe of color and making sure that it's nice and bold. Then taking Urban again, I'm going to put that into the very last little open patch that we have and make sure that I have a nice gradient going on. Then going in with the other side of the brush, which is a little bit on the fluffier side, I'm going to pick up all those colors in the same order and just blend them all together. I'm picking up very little pigment and really making sure that these colors are going to blend together nicely, really focusing on the inner corner because that's going to be the most visible after we apply Rex in just a minute. Then grabbing my 224 again, I'm going to make sure the edges are nice and blended because you don't want to be chunky. Then I'm going to grab my regular old Scotch tape and take a piece on the back of my hand. This probably would have been easier if I started off doing this, but I wasn't really sure where I was going with this look, so yeah, deal with me. Once I have my tape in place, I'm going to grab that same Urban Decay brush that we used before with the smaller side, and I'm going to pick up some of the shade Rex, and I'm just going to start building up my wing. I'm sorry that I keep going in and out of focus here, maybe. So my tape kind of started to fall off anyway, so I just went ahead and took that off, and I'm just going to make sure to keep focusing that color above that sharp line. I don't want to do anything too crazy to kind of mess that up. So I'm just going to take an angled brush and I'm going to follow my actual crease line just to create that nice swoopy shape. I want it to have that defined wing, but I also want to have kind of a graphic liner kind of a look to it, if that makes sense. You get my drift. And I'm just going to keep building and building until I'm happy with it. I'm then going back in with more of Rex and that same Urban Decay brush and just really focusing more of that sparkly goodness on the outer edge. It's okay if you mess up a little bit because we are going to clean up with concealer because I obviously didn't want to have that weird smoky part just kind of popping out. So just grabbing a flat concealer brush and your favorite creamy concealer of choice, just clean up that line and blend it out. It's also going to kind of create a highlight shade here, so it's really going to make that wing pop a little extra, even if you did use tape from the beginning. Then going back in with the same Gonzo and Freak shades, I'm just adding a little bit more to add a little bit more color there, and I'm grabbing a little bit more of Savage and blending it along the edge of the top part of my wing, just to make sure that it's not too super sharp. I really only want for the very outer corner to be very sharp and defined. So you can see the little swoopy shape a little bit better here. And then I'm just blending out any more edges and also making sure that my concealer is nice and blended. See the nice little highlight that concealer kind of created? That's what we want. So this is what I have so far. Once I am happy and I think they look nice and even, I'm going to start smoking out my lower lash line. I'm kind of doing this in the same order as I did my original eyeshadows. I'm starting off with Savage and just creating a nice fluffy transition shade going on right here. And then I'm going to go in with the smaller detail side of my brush and I'm going to apply Freak and then Gonzo and then Chaos. And then I'm going to top everything off with a little bit of Rex just to bring everything together and finish off the look. Again, make sure everything's nice and blended because we don't want to have any crazy harsh lines that it's like, whoa girl, why you just got a line of green going on. Once I'm happy with everything, I'm going to go in with my black liner and I'm just going to line my waterline and I'm going to tight line my upper lash line, which I did not get on film because that's way too hard to do. Then I'm going to grab my Sugar Pill Loose eyeshadow in the shade Lumi, which is a gorgeous highlight shade in my opinion. It creates the most perfect, like light, silvery, green goodness, and I'm just going to pop that onto my inner corner and also onto my brow bone. I am going to use this as a highlighter as well, and I'll show you how I do that in just a sec. So I'm going to take this Revlon Skin Light. I think it's the pink, I think it's like Pink Light or some weird, I don't know. I don't know what the name of this one is, but that pink one, it's the only pink one. I'm going to put it on my Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to blend that all onto the top of my cheekbones. This one does show up very, very silver and not so pink on me, so I like to use this one as a base for another highlighter. So because if I applied Lumi just straight by itself onto my cheeks, it's going to look a little strange. This is going to create more of a highlighter feel. Then grabbing a duo fiber brush and a little bit of that Lumi pigment, I'm going to put that everywhere that I just put that highlight. See, it creates like a nice blue-green shift. Love it. It really ties the rest of this look together. I wanted to keep my lips pretty neutral, so I just went in with Colourpop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Trap, which is just a gorgeous, like, pinky, mauvey, grayish tone. It pulls a little bit more pink on me because I'm tan. If you're a little paler, it might be a little bit too gray for you, but definitely go with a cooler tone nude. And then this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you decide to recreate this, please send me your pictures on Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat. All of the links to those are going to be in my description box below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Thanks, guys!
We'll be right back.